Yo, students, how's it going? Um, Miss Weaver here. Today we're going to talk about editing your photos to be black and white. First step, uh, just a reminder, this is something that I've definitely gone over in class, but I know we're all working from home, and in case you forgot or whatever, whenever you click on or download something from the internet, it goes into a folder on your computer called your downloads. So I've been saying, go download this image. I mean, click on it. It's going to go into your downloads folder. That way, when you actually open the image, if you're like looking for it, it's in your downloads. So in Photoshop, again, you click on open. Here it is, downloads. And I'm the one who uploaded the computer or the picture, but you get the point. It will show up in your downloads. Okay. For my Pixlr users, something I mentioned last time is how it will automatically resize your image when you open up the file. So this picture that I took is a pretty large file, which is difficult for an online image editor to work with, right? Because it's not technically stored on your hard drive right now. It's stored on this in the internet, right? So it's saying, hey, you need to, adjust the settings, or what do you want to use this image for? It basically asks you what you want the size to be. This is measured in pixels. So I would just go full HD. Doesn't really matter. You guys mess around with it. I'm not gonna lie to you, haven't used Pixlr a lot, but I have used it enough to know how it relates to Photoshop. So open that image up in Pixlr. Now, in what we're going to do today is actually edit the picture, this picture of my dog Moose. I feel like I've shown you guys a picture of him before, but there you go, up close and personal, Moose the man. Anywho, we're going to edit Moose and turn him into a black and white image. This is complicated because I actually do have to explain it in two different ways. When you guys are working with Pixlr, if I ever say image adjustments, adjustment layer, saturation, brightness, etc., it's all going to be here under adjustment. And like, basically you're going to have to use some active listening skills and actually look around for what I'm talking about. This is probably what you're going to work with the most today, hue and saturation, or right here, desaturate. But keep in mind, these are two different applications, and in our curriculum, it's Photoshop. So I'm going to stick with Photoshop, and hopefully it'll work out. Anywho, black and white, let's go. Now, last time when we were making our image adjustments, I had you guys go to the image menu at the top, go to adjustments, and make your adjustments there. You can turn the image to black and white this way, but I actually wanted to show you adjustments layers as well. So last time I duplicated my background layer, and then I made all my edits to this copy that was on top, right? So when you duplicate your background, it's literally the same picture stacked on top of the other picture. Now, with adjustment layers, oh, fun fact, keyboard shortcut to undo, the greatest thing about Photoshop is Command Z or Control Z if you have a normal computer. Undo basically moves a step backward in whatever edit you made. So if you mess up, you might hit undo a bunch of times. Okay, so adjustment layers are actually going to be in a panel over here on the right hand side. Simplest way, and honestly the best way in my opinion, to create a black and white image is by using what's called this black and white adjustment layer. It's literally black and white boxes stacked right next to each other. And to make that adjustment layer, you just click on it. And notice, yes, my image is black and white, but it also brings up this box. Dang it. Did I really just lose this? I'm so mad right now. All right. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. Brings up this box. See, I just used my undo. Brings up this box that tells you the colors that you're actually working with. And with this, you can actually adjust some of these properties. There it is, our properties panel. Based off of how you want your image to look. So for example, I have a blue blanket right underneath his face right here. And let's see what happens as I start adjusting the cyans. So cyan is a blue. Notice how it's adjusting a little part of that image when I'm clicking and dragging on this dial right here. Same thing with the blues. As you start to make adjustments, you'll notice like while the colors are not there right now, you'll actually change those colors with this properties panel. That's why I like the black and white adjustment panel the best, because you have this ability to get really, really particular with how you want your black and white to look. Okay, so notice how when you clicked on that adjustment layer, it created a new layer inside of your layers panel. Over here, there, like in your layers panel, there's these little eyeballs, and it will show you how your edit looked before and after you made some changes. So the eyeball means it's visible or not visible. If the eyeball is not there, it's not visible. If the eyeball is there, it is currently a visible layer. Okay, that's one way to make a black and white layer. I'm going to actually delete this and show you the other way. You guys do not have to delete this layer. I just am using, oh wait, I'll just make it invisible. And that way we can see all the different adjustment layers that we have. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so the other way to do this, I'm going to open up the hue saturation adjustment panel. So this one is different because you can, while in this image adjustment, you can also change the colors, which I'm not going to do because I really like this picture. But saturation is essentially how bright your colors are in your image, which means if you lower the saturation all the way, you're going to have a black and white image. So now I have even another layer. These are called your adjustment layers. And you can add basically as many adjustment layers as you want to. And again, that little eyeball is going to be telling you what is currently visible in your image. This is what happens when nothing is visible, right? So if you're ever like, oh my gosh, my picture disappeared. No, it didn't. It's just not currently visible. Click on those little eyeballs. And you can even see the difference between the black and white adjustment layer and the hue saturation adjustment layer. There, you have to alternate. Okay. Okay. And then the other way that I wanted to show you guys, the other way I wanted to show you guys how to edit your image to be black and white is actually using what's called the grayscale mode. Since I've been a yearbook advisor, I've actually learned that a lot of the time when you are printing black and white photos, you have to actually print in grayscale mode. So I've made it so my two adjustment layers are currently not showing. The other way that you can turn your image to black and white is by going to the image menu up at the top. It's going to say, if you change this, it's going to get rid of those adjustment layers. Do you want to change this anyway? Yes, I'm going to hit OK because it'll be fine. It's asking you, do you want to get rid of all these colors? Yes, I want to get rid of these colors. There you go. Easy way to edit your image to be black and white. Also, this is where I think I forgot to tell you guys about history last time. Like I mentioned history, but I don't think I actually went into it. So in your history panel, it actually keeps a record of basically every edit that you've made since you opened the image, which is how I fixed the mess up that I had earlier on in the video. But basically, if you get to a point where you've messed up, open your history panel and you can either start stepping back and just clicking on some of those edits that you've made, or you hit the trash can. But keep in mind, once you've deleted it, you can't get it back. So I don't like using the trash can, to be honest. I have noticed a lot of students doing it, like when I teach Photoshop. I think it's less effective. I think it's better if you click on the edit that you made and then move on from there. Because basically, once you make a different change to your image, it's going to get rid of all this other stuff that happened after. And this is all in order, right? First thing we did was we opened the image and I made all of these changes. You guys might not see as many, but there you go. How to make an image black and white. Go practice with some of your own pictures. I hope you guys are still taking pictures even though you're stuck at home. If you haven't been, try to do it because it's going to help your sanity a little bit if you try to use your creativity skills. Yeah. Hope you're doing well. Send me an email if you have any questions. See ya.